Social media is a mirror. The way that you show up on social media is the same way that you show up in your life. We are going into an AI era right now. It has never been more important than it is right now to learn how to show up confidently and to invest in your personal growth. Your sweet, sassy little self cannot be automated. But the thing is if you're hiding, if you're waiting, if you're scared, you're at risk. Welcome back to another episode of Glow Up and Show Up. And today I am introducing the Show Up Confident on Camera Masterclass. Do you feel so scared to show up on camera? Do you criticize yourself so much? And are you acutely aware that if you had a little bit more courage, if you were able to be a little bit more visible, you could make more money? You could be happier. Maybe you'd be in a better relationship. Maybe you'd be in a better job position. Maybe you'd be able to build your personal brand online. And are you just so scared to do that? Well, today's podcast episode was made just for you. I actually spent 8 years of my life being way too afraid to post on social media. I hid in every sense of the word. I hid in my outfits. I wouldn't let anyone tag me on Facebook posts. And let me tell you, when I forced myself to start being visible on social media when I was at my lowest, it became the greatest catalyst for personal growth. And that is something that not enough people are talking about, is how social media is a mirror. The way that you show up on social media is the same way that you show up in your life. And when we can start to use social media as a tool to become our most aligned, most expressed selves, social media actually gets to be the greatest blessing of our generation, which I truly believe it is. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just being honest. We are going into an AI era right now. Never in human history have we been in such an era. And I truly believe this with every ounce of my being. It has never been more important than it is right now to learn how to show up confidently and to invest in your personal growth. Because going forward, many of the things that you and I spend our days doing, they can be automated. But do you know what can't be automated? You. Your sweet, sassy little self cannot be automated. But the thing is if you're hiding, if you're waiting, if you're scared, you're at risk. And this entire masterclass is dedicated to you because we are going to win in the AI era. I just know it. And we're going to do it using the show framework that I'm going to teach you today. S stands for systems. Systems are what we use to get camera ready each and every day. H stands for headspace. Before you even hit record, it is so important that your headspace is tuned and ready to communicate to camera. And I have a whole framework for that. O stands for on camera. And this is how we show up on camera. Once we're dressed, once our headspace is in the right spot, then we're going to show up on camera. And W stands for work with AI. I'm going to teach you exactly how you can program AI to be your communication coach and to make content creation so much easier for you. Last month on Instagram alone, I pumped out nearly 200 pieces of brand new content. And I credit the way I've been using AI to how I've been able to pull that off. So without further ado, let's get into the show framework. S stands for system, and specifically the camera ready system. This is a 3-part system I created just for you. And some of you aren't going to like this, but the way you look matters. Not only does it matter to people who are looking at you aesthetically, but it matters to yourself. Because the way that you take care of yourself, the way that you present yourself, it sends a message to your internal being about what you believe about yourself, about how worthy you think you are. And if you're serious about showing up on camera, if you're serious about showing up in your life, it is imperative that you take the extra time to adorn your body and to celebrate your body. And I need to be so clear. Many of you listening to this are going to say, but Mary, I have kids, but Mary, I have a job, but Mary, I don't have time. This system is less than 30 minutes when you implement it. It's 30 minutes every day. And let me tell you, you are worth it. Turn on a little T-Pain and a Bluetooth speaker. Pour yourself a bubbly bevy in a red Solo cup. Make this enjoyable. But these 30 minutes are essential, okay? They're essential. So, number one is the dopamine 4. Around here, we utilize a dopamine dressing framework called the dopamine 4. And this is where you take color, pattern, texture, and sparkle in every single outfit that you wear. And notice how easy that system sounds. I'm actually wearing a dopamine 4 outfit right now, and I'm not kidding you. It took me less than 3 minutes to put together because when I went to my closet, I'm not thinking, oh, what am I going to piece together? I am just looking for color, pattern, texture, and sparkle. And somehow, some way, it works. And here's what I want you to realize and you don't have to dress this way, but I want to encourage you to consider dressing this way because when you allow yourself to wear color, pattern, texture, and sparkle, you become a visual hook. You become interesting. People's eyes are drawn to you. And us as humans, we are biologically wired to be interested in color. I know the neutrals and the white, the clean girl aesthetic is so trendy, but I have to be honest, if you think about it, they're actually the colors of depression. Ugh. And around here, we like to be happy. And I also think that your followers, your listeners, they want to be intrigued and happy too. The point of this whole system that I'm teaching you, by the way, is the Where's Waldo principle. You want to be able to build some type of a uniform, some type of a way of you presenting yourself to camera so that, first of all, it's easy and you're recognizable. Also, follow me on Instagram if you aren't already because I do lots of dopamine dressing content there. Number 2 is the 10-minute hair routine. Now, I got so many messages today on Instagram with girls sliding into my DMs saying, "Oh my goodness, Mary, I love your hair. Your hair looks so good." First of all, thank you. The reason my hair looks so good is because every Sunday I do a blowout. And yes, this blowout does take me an hour and a half, but hear me out. Because I invest an hour and a half of my time using my Dyson blowout brush and my IGK products, which I love so much, but because I invest that time early on in my week, every day that I do my hair, it gets to look this pretty and this good in less than 10 minutes. And these are things that make showing up on camera presentable a non-negotiable. The third part of this framework is the 5-minute face. So we got the 10-minute hair, the 5-minute face. We need to have a system for doing our makeup that is quick and easy. Now, I have lots of tutorials on my page. If you want to go check those out for the exact no makeup look that I use, do whatever you want, but I just want you to find some type of a way, even if it's just putting mascara on your face. Even if that's all you do. By the way, that's where I started. When I was just getting into taking care of myself a few years ago, I started with mascara. So start small, but again, the reason it's important to get dressed, to do our hair, and to do our makeup has way less to do with how other people perceive us, and it has way more to do with what this signals to ourselves. Because we are worthy, we are hot, we are lovable, and we deserve to signal this to ourselves every day. And I promise you, that level of intention is going to 10x your confidence on camera. And now we're getting into H. H stands for Headspace. And this might be the most important part of the entire episode. So if you haven't already, get out your notebook, write this stuff down because what I'm about to share with you has the ability to completely change your life. We're going to be getting into the 4 laws of showing up. The first law is stage mom mentality. Now, I want you to think about the Kardashians. And I want you to realize how every single one of the Kardashian children is wildly successful. And then I want you to think to yourself, what's the common denominator? It is Kris Jenner. And here is why. I think there is something so profound about having someone in your life who believes in you before you do, who sees your success before you do, who cheers you on before you do. And that is what Kris did for her kids. And notice how that level of encouragement, that level of belief produced some of the most successful people of our generation. And here's the dealio, my sweet friends. You and me, we probably were not born with a stage mom like Kris Jenner, but the really cool thing is we can be our own stage moms. And what this means is being so obsessed with our potential now, being so obsessed with what we're creating, believing in ourselves so hard. I often say that in order to be successful in content creation, you have to believe in yourself enough for 1,000 people. And I truly believe that that is the level of energy that the stage mom mentality brings to your life. And as a matter of fact, I'm using the stage mom mentality right now. I promoted this podcast so hard. I talked about this podcast, I teased it, and these are all things that are new for me. Talking about myself is new for me. But I will say the more I leverage AI to help me, which we're going to get to that, but the more I leverage AI and the more I leverage my own stage mom, the better and better and the more excited I get. And the more excited you are about whatever it is that you're creating, people are going to be bought into that energy. People want to be consuming people's content who are into their content, interested in their content. So adopt the stage mom mentality today. Number 2 is to realize that posting is a privilege. Now, I want you to really think about that. Posting is a privilege. There's a really good chance that you are bought in on the narrative that social media is toxic. There's a really good chance that you lament showing up on social media, that you see it as a chore, that you're just so exhausted by it that you wish we didn't have these smartphones. But I want you to realize the fact that this device right here has access to billions of eyeballs and the fact that it is totally free is the biggest blessing of our generation. And I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just being honest. There's a lot of talk lately and a lot of projection that within the next 5 to 10 years, social media is going to change drastically. Namely, that we are not going to be scrolling on our phones. No, we will be wearing optics. It'll be all optical and audio. And do you know what that means for us? That means our time to post short form content so we can be a part of people's scroll. This is temporary. So you don't have another 2 years to sit on your idea. I don't even think you have another 2 months to sit on your idea, to be honest, with where AI is and with how quickly people are able to pump out high quality content. We don't have time to wait. You don't have time to waste. So what I want you to realize today is that this is temporary. Social media and the way that we know it is temporary. Access to free content creation the way it is today is temporary, and therefore this is the greatest privilege. So treat it that way. Law number 3 is personal growth over follower growth. If you are so focused on your follower growth and you're not focused enough on your personal growth, I can already tell you you're not going to be successful as a content creator. You're going to give up. Because if you are so focused on gaining followers and not focused on growing in your personal development and accepting that this is a journey, going back to what I said earlier, your audience is going to feel that. That feels really icky. I bet you can think of people right now who you know, maybe even in your everyday life, and maybe just influencers that you know who you can just tell that they're in it for the follows, that they're so obsessed with the follows and that they aren't actually obsessed with their message, with what they're creating, with what they're spreading. Content creation is a discipline, the same way jujitsu is a discipline. In the same way that if you practice the principles of jujitsu, that you will become stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, the same thing is true with content creation. And when you become open to that journey, you will be consistent, you will be confident, and you will become obsessed the way that you need to in order to be successful in today's social media climate. The 4th law is to regulate before you record. Now, I have a 3-step framework that I do every single time I speak. Be it to my camera, be it on stage, be it to my smartphone. I do this every single time without fail. And I promise you, if you have a hard time speaking to your camera, if you get lost in your own ideas, if you have a hard time remembering what you were going to say, this is going to help you. Let's do this together. So you're going to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. And once you have finished your 3 deep breaths, you are then going to put 2 hands on your hips. This is By the way, if you have access to a mirror, I highly recommend doing this in a mirror, but if not, you can just do it wherever you are. So you're going to put two hands on your hips. You're going to bring your shoulders back. This is called a power pose. You're going to flex your muscles and you're going to say, I am wise. I am confident. I am poised. I am strong and I am worthy. You're just going to let that marinate for a second, squeezing your fists, squeezing your muscles. And then as you go to speak, I want you to focus on your third eye. Now, this is equal parts woo as it is science. So hear me out. The pineal gland, this is science. The pineal gland is located in the center of your head, and focusing on a body part, focusing on one thing as you speak is a way to calm your mind. And the more calm you can get your mind, the more clear and confident you can get with your messaging. Now, where this gets to be a little woo is this part of your forehead is also the third eye, which is a little woo woo. We love the woo around here. We also love science. So that is why I love focusing on the third eye as you speak. I don't exactly know how or why it works, to be honest, but it does. I do it every time. Whenever I lose my train of thought, I always come back to my third eye. I always come back to my pineal gland, and magically I'm able to get right back on track. My clarity comes back, my confidence comes back. So I hope that that can help. Be sure that you regulate before you record. We are now moving on to O. Now, the O stands for on camera, and we're going to go over something that is called the exposure method. But first, what I want you to realize is if you have a hard time showing up on camera, if you have a hard time seeing yourself visually on your phone, I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. And in fact, there's something right with you. Because for millennia, humans have not had access to smartphones. It is so unnatural for us to have this. And so if you're having a hard time, I want you to know it's your biology. But there are things that we can do to prime our nervous systems, to prime our bodies, to prime our beings so that we can show up on camera confidently. Because in 2026 and beyond, your ability to be visible online is directly correlated with your ability to make more money, to be more successful, and to magnetize more opportunity your way. So now that we understand the science, let's get into the exposure method. And it really comes down to two things. Number one is the Real Housewife principle. So I want you to think about the Real Housewives and how confident all of them are on camera. Whenever they get them into their little rooms to do their little debriefs, they're all so relaxed and poised. And many of the Real Housewives do kind of wild and crazy things on camera. And you're like, wow, you're clearly very comfortable. And the reason they are so comfortable is because they were exposed to the camera over and over and over again. I mean, when you have a camera looking at you, when you pick your kids up from school, when you're making dinner, when you're in a board meeting, when you're doing whatever, you're going to get so used to it. And we have to do the same things as content creators. And so the blessing of the smartphone is we get to have our own reality TV shows in our pockets. But we have to also be our own producer, which means to get comfortable on camera, we have to put in the reps intentionally. And this means filming yourself a lot. Filming yourself on your walks, filming yourself while you do your dishes, filming yourself while you get ready. And I used to say that you don't have to post it, but I now rebuke that. You do have to post. Because part of the healing journey of social media, part of the reason it's the biggest personal development tool of our generation is visibility. Being seen and witnessed is healing. And I can say this from my own experience. When I first showed up on social media, I was addicted to alcohol. There is nothing I could do to get myself to stop drinking. I tried everything. But creating a podcast, being visible, having other people depend on me, that was enough for me to get sober. It was because I made myself visible and accountable. So I want you to post your cringy video. I want you to post the video of you showing up on camera being so cringe. I do. And then I want you to iterate over time because I promise you that discomfort, that level of accountability, it'll make you dangerous. Like, girl, the amount of confidence you will get from posting cringe, it can't be bought. It should be. We should bottle it up and sell it. But it will change your life. hand to God. Which leads me to number 2, expect to suck. Wholeheartedly expect to suck. Expect your first few videos to be absolute garbage. Expect the first few speeches that you do to be absolute garbage. I want you to start to be comfortable with humility. I think a lot of us are so comfortable because our lives are very comfortable. And we don't have to get rejected nearly as much as we used to. We don't have to put ourselves out there nearly as much as we used to. It's very easy to live a comfortable life. But the life that you want, if you are listening to this video, I already know the life that you want is fucking epic. And the life that you want isn't comfortable. It's cringe and it's audacious. And part of that means being willing to suck. And if you want to feel better about yourself, go back to my Instagram, scroll back through to my first few videos. They're awful. They're really hard to watch. But it got me to a place today where I'm able to communicate super confidently, super effectively. I know what I want to say. I can own a room, I can own a camera, and it's because I let myself suck so badly. And you can too. Moving on to W, which is the last of the show framework, which stands for work with AI. This is where I'm going to let you in on all of the juicy secrets on how I am leveraging AI and how you can too, and predominantly how you can use AI to become a more confident communicator and to be a more confident creator, to be a more efficient creator. The system I'm teaching you today is a loop system, and it's meant to repeat. So I'm going to teach you these 3 steps, but I want you to realize right when you're done with the third, you go right back to the first, second, third. It really becomes a loop, but this loop is the unlock, I promise you. So number 1 is dump it. This is where you are going to take out your notes app in your phone, and you're going to hit the little microphone in the bottom right-hand corner, and you're just going to dictate everything that is on your mind, anything that inspires you, anything that you're thinking about, anything that lights you up as it pertains to something, you're going to talk to your notes app about it. Get in nitty-gritty detail and honestly, talk until you can't no more. Because the more information you give to AI, the more you can teach it your voice, the better it is going to get at learning you and giving you better results. So once you're done with that, you are then going to drop it. This is where you're going to copy and paste all of this note into Claude. And once you've copied and pasted your note into Claude, you are going to ask Claude to find your hooks, to sharpen your story, to write your caption, and to pull your key points all in your own voice. And this is where a lot of people are using AI wrong. A lot of people are not giving AI their voice. They're just typing it in. So AI is giving you back garbage responses. But if you give AI an opportunity to learn your voice by dictating into it, the quality of your results will blow your freaking mind, and your ability to pump out quality captions, quality email is going to be insane, but you have to be dictating to your phone. If you are not dictating to AI, you're wasting your time. AI needs to learn your voice. It needs to learn you. So turn on your mic and just let it spill. Which leads me to number 3. Once you've recorded your note, once you've uploaded it into Claude, then you're going to ask Claude to help you refine your voice. You are going to ask Claude, you're going to say, hey, based on everything I just uploaded, based on the note I just uploaded, can you help me sharpen my story? Can you help me find opportunities to grow my communication? Where could I have been more clear? Where could I have elaborated more? And if you do that, your story is going to become so clear to you. Your confidence is going to become so clear to you. So that is how you can use AI to become your coach, your communication coach. And once you're done with the refine, you're going to go right back. I actually recommend that you talk to AI this way every single day. I really do. I recommend that you dump it, drop it, and refine it every single day. And I truly believe that if you do that for a full 30 days, I really do think that you're going to know exactly who you are and exactly what you want to say. Now, I want to give you a bonus because I mentioned earlier on in this episode that I was able to drop close to 200 pieces of content on Instagram last month alone. And now it was a grind. I'm not going to lie, it was a grind. But what I did was I've started recording long form content like the one that you're watching right here. And I'm starting to do this a lot more often. I'm going to try to start doing this 2 times a week, but I've been doing this 1 time a week. And what I do is I edit the footage and then I upload the finished product into a AI system called Opus Clips. Opus Clips not only creates tons of clips for you, but it gives you captions, it gives you a hook text, and it also rates them by virality of the ones that they think will do best. And that has been a way that I've been able to 10 I mean, I don't even know, maybe quadruple my output. So that is a way that you can use AI. You can also use AI to write your email, to write your captions, to script for you. The only thing I would caution you about with using it for email um and captions and scripting is you really have to make sure that you've taken the time to talk to AI every single day for a period of time. Because if AI doesn't know you, if it doesn't know your voice, it will give you the worst email. Like, I think we've all been at a place where we've opened up our email and you're reading it and you're like, this is so AI. Like, there's no way that you wrote this. This is so AI. And it's a turn off. So, first of all, you have to be using Claude. If you're not using Claude, get out. ChatGPT is so dead. Claude's ability to write and script, it is out of this world if you haven't tried it. So make sure that you're using Claude if you are using it to write your email, if you are using it to write captions. It is next level stuff. I wanted to end today's episode with listener questions, and I actually received 2 listener questions that I'm very excited to answer today. The first listener question I received was about camera angles. How do I know if I have the best camera angle? How do I know if I have a good camera angle? I have to be honest. I think every angle is a good angle. Film yourself with a double chin and post it. Film yourself with your rolls on your belly and post it. Film yourself without makeup and post it. I truly think that that's where social media and the act of filming and posting becomes an opportunity for you to get comfortable with yourself. I think if you're so focused on the best angle and the best lighting and the best this and the best that, it's like that just becomes another excuse for you to not show up. With that said, I will say natural lighting is always my favorite lighting. Um, and that's really important. And of course, if you if maybe you want your jaw to look a little bit more pronounced, you can literally just jut your chin out like this. I want you to realize, and you can't tell. If I just jut my chin out, you really can't tell, but I look snatched. Especially if you're taking a photo. So that's one, is just kinda, like, jut your chin out a little bit. That's one. Another thing is, of course, if you film up high, it might give you a little bit more flattering of an angle, but I have to be honest, like I said, I I am not I don't make the most aesthetic videos. I don't make the most high quality videos, but I do show up really freaking consistently. Like my consistency is dangerous. My consistency is off the charts, and I credit it to making the barrier to entry so freaking low where it's like, "Hey, I need to record a video today. I'm gonna record it on my walk," or "I'm gonna record my video as I do my makeup," or "I'm gonna record my video as I meal prep." It's like, no excuses not to show up. Make this camera a part of your life and just forget about angles, honestly. The second question I was asked is what motivates you? What's motivating you right now? What is motivating me so much right now is you. And specifically, wanting to I want all of us to win in an AI world. I was honestly really scared about AI for a while. I was really scared. It was stressing me out. I've gone from being scared to being obsessed with winning, to being obsessed with learning, to being obsessed with implementing. And that's what motivates me right now is how can I create content for people to win in an AI world? How can I create more systems for people to win in an AI world? How can I help to be a part of educating and integrating to professionals and ambitious women so that we do win in this era? I don't think that women can hide in the same way that we've been able to hide. I think AI is going to expose a lot of things. I think there's a lot of things that we spend our time doing that can be automated. And so I think right now, more than ever, our ability to be ourselves, our ability to be, our ability to, like our human capital is going to become a freaking asset. And what does human capital mean? That's who you are. It's who you are, it's what you do, it's what you think, it's how you show up, it's how you act. And a lot of us are scared. I've been scared for years. And what motivates me is helping as many people as possible come to know themselves, come to show up confidently, both on camera and in real life, so that we can work on our communication skills, so we can work on our confidence skills, and so we can have a fighting chance in an AI world. So just to tie a bow on all of this, what's motivating me right now is AI and every single woman on this planet being able to communicate and show up as her fullest, most expressed self. And now I want to be so honest. Today's episode was based on my life. Everything I taught you is based on my lived experience. Because when I first started posting content, I was addicted to alcohol. I was $40,000 in debt. I was obese and I was chronically depressed. And today I am sober. I'm down 40 pounds. I'm debt free and I'm genuinely the most happy I've ever been. And I credit it to this I credit it to this camera I am talking to right now. I credit it to the process of creating and of creation. I credit it to the confidence I've been able to earn from relentlessly showing up. And this is something I want for you. So I gave you a lot of tools today that you can use, a lot of tools that you can implement. I gave you the entire show framework that you can implement every single day of your life to show up confidently on camera. And now I want to gift you another item because I love you so much and I want you to truly I want 2026 to be your freaking year, my friend. I wrote a book for you. It is called 25 Unhinged Glow Up Tips, and these are the 25 unhinged things I did in my life to have the biggest glow up in my life. And no, none of these tips include Bentley's, Botox, or boob jobs, but they do include deep mindset work, deep habitual work, and truly things that you can do to shift your identity. And lastly, I have 3 one-on-one spots available. If you have ever wanted a coach, someone to help you show up more confidently, someone to help you show up more confidently on camera, at work, someone to help you learn how to implement AI in a systematic, strategic way in your business, in your professional life, I'm your girl. I am a professional and personal development coach. And I truly believe, I'm going to say this one more time, your ability to make money, especially going forward, now more than ever, this is true. Your ability to increase and maximize your earning potential has everything to do with your ability and your willingness to be visible and be seen as the woman that you truly are, as who you truly are. And so if these are things that you are wanting help with, if you're wanting coaching with, please apply. I'll leave a little link down below so you can apply to have a little conversation with me, see if we're a good fit. And if you haven't yet, please go follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I am at Mary Lacey Banks. And I also want to say, it means the world to me that you spent today with me. I know that there are so many places on the internet that you could be spending your time today, literally millions, maybe even billions. There's a lot of places. And the fact that you made it through the end of my episode, the fact that you spent your day with me means so much to me. And if you would please do me a little bitty favor, if you found value in this episode, first of all, please share it with your friends. It is my biggest wish in the world to get as many eyes and ears on this podcast as possible. And you, my friend, you sharing this podcast, you giving this to other people is a huge part of that desire, huge part of that effort is you helping. So please go ahead and do that. And if you haven't yet, please head over to Spotify and Apple and give me a written review if you don't mind. Written reviews really help. They let the algorithm know that Glow Up and Show Up is a really good show. And like I said, gets more eyes and ears on the pod. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to grow a little movement at Glow Up and Show Up. We're trying to grow a little movement of people who want to show up online and glow up in real life. That said, I'm holding you all so tight in a thought hug. I cannot wait to see you next week. Mwah. Bye.